By now, if you've watched and followed all the previous videos, your station should be in pretty good shape. But there are tons more things that you can do with your Myriad Cloud system, and I'm just going to run through a few of the settings you may be interested in. Plus, I'm going to show you some of the admin features in the broadcast.radio portal that allow you to administer your system and also troubleshoot any issues you may have. Now, one of the things that's very different to Myriad Cloud to traditional desktop Myriad system is, of course, you don't have a computer to access. So all admin and all settings needs to be done via the broadcast radio portal. So let's take a look. To kick things off, let's look at some of the more commonly used Myriad settings. To do this, we need to go to the dashboard and need to be logged in as administrator and go to Users and Security. Again, log into Myriad Anywhere with administrator rights. Now, we've been to this module twice before. We used this to add users earlier on in this course and also to set the categories and attributes before we uploaded songs and links. But there's a couple of other settings in here we want to take a look at. First of all, there's the database settings. Now, most of these settings you will probably just leave in on their defaults, but the one I think maybe you may want to do is look at media ranges. So what this does is allows you to specify the default media item type for specific ranges, the default color, and also the default normalization method and levels. So as you can see, above 10,000, everything that you add would be a song, and it'll be RMS normalized to 8 decibels or minus 8 decibels. But everything you add to the 6,000 to 8,000 range are voice links, and those are peak normalized to the minus 2 decibels. Now, if none of this means anything to you, don't worry about it. Just leave it on the default settings. But if you find that, say, for example, your adverts or your sweepers are not going to get too quiet compared to your songs, you can change the default normalization for those ranges. Moving on to station settings, there's a couple of things in here I think would be of interest to you. One, you may wish to change the default colors for the media items in the log, which you can do here. And also, if you go onto the scheduler tab, currently the system is set, and this is a default, to only schedule 1 hour ahead. But if you want to voice track ahead, scheduling only 1 hour ahead is not a lot of use. So instead, you can change this to be up to the next full 7 days. And when you do that, the system will maintain a rolling schedule ahead 7 days so that you always have at least a week's worth of log in the system to voice track against and to keep running. When you're happy with your changes, click on Save. In here, if you have the Auto Importer module or the Online Content or OCP modules, this is where you can set up your outputs to external sources or your importer groups if you're importing content from FTP service. We won't cover these in this video, but that's where you get to the settings, and we'll cover them in a different video. In the previous section, we were looking at settings within Myriad, but what if you're having some issues with your actual Myriad Cloud system? Well, you have a portal you can use to restart various elements of the system if you're having issues. So let's take a look. From the dashboard, click on Settings, and then click on Myriad Cloud. This section shows you a summary of what's playing and also gives you access to the options for restarting various elements of your Myriad Cloud system. Drop down the Restart option and you can see you have 4 different options. So I'll run through them very briefly, tell you what each one does. So the first one, Restart Station Playback, will restart the Myriad Cloud engine, but doesn't restart the audio engine. So if you do this between songs or when you're playing a song, it won't take you off air. It will just restart the Myriad Logic engine. So think of this like restarting the software. Restart Remote Access does exactly what you would expect. It restarts Remote Edit Server and the Tunnel service, along with all the other utilities such as OCP, Auto Importer and Scheduling Engine. So if you're having problems with people connecting via Myriad Anywhere, then try restarting the remote access option. That also won't take you off air, but it will disconnect any Myriad Anywhere users. If you've tried restart station playback and you've tried restart remote access, the next thing to try is restart entire station. Now this will restart all of the elements of your Myriad Cloud system, including the audio engine, so this will take you off air for between 30 seconds and a minute, and you can consider this to be the same as rebooting the entire system. The final option is a bit of a nuclear option, and we wouldn't recommend using it unless you're having some serious issues. If you chose shutdown, then what it does is it actually shuts down and destroys all of the infrastructure for your radio station, but doesn't delete any audio or data. You can then restart the station and the entire stack is rebuilt from the ground up, and you'll be back up on running with your data pretty quick. But that does take probably 3 or 4 minutes, maybe even longer. This is very much similar to when we activated the station at the beginning of this video tutorials. So only use shutdown if you're advised to by our support team. Moving on to the next section, you can see you can access your Myriad Anywhere page from here. And you can also manage your Myriad Anywhere page. So if I click on that, it shows you the contributors who are connected, and you can actually kill their connection from inside here. So you can click on the cross there to end their connection to your station. Finally, in the bottom section, we've got Manage Notifications, which just allows you to say which users should receive notifications about systems, system announcements such as maintenance, that type of thing. You can also see your administrator credentials. You would need to put in your username and password if you haven't done so recently, and then you can check or reset your admin username and password. And finally, we've got advanced cloud settings. If you've opted for the stereo tool option, you can enable that, and then you can pick one of the preset options for processing. Now the stereo tool option is a add-on for any of the Myriad Cloud systems, and it just allows you to have a much louder sound and processed sound. You can also add additional encoders in here if you need to. So if you need your Myriad Cloud system to send to another encoder for, say, a DAB stream or something like that, you can add additional outputs in there as well. When you're happy, click on Save. So the final thing I want to show you is how to restart your stream if you're having any streaming issues. From the Broadcast Radio portal, click on Settings and then Streams. If you've got multiple streams, you'll see them listed here, but we've only got one on this station, so let's restart this stream. Click on the cog and then go to the Advanced tab. Finally, click on Restart Broadcasting. You'll be asked to confirm, or when you say yes, the system will restart the stream. You don't get any confirmation that it's done because the stream is actually run from a separate platform. So all this does is tells the system to restart the stream, but it should only take a few seconds. To test it, go back to the dashboard, click on play. And that's it. That's how you would restart your stream on Myriad Cloud. And that's about it for the settings for Myriad Cloud. And in fact, that's it for this short tutorial session. We will be adding more videos as time goes by and as more features are added. I hope you've enjoyed this series, and I hope it's helped you to get your Myriad Cloud station up and running. Until next time, thanks for watching.